Okay.
Yo, yo, yo. How everybody doing? We made it through one another week, and we're here on episode 3 of the Be Ready Sports Podcast Live. Now, today's show is going to be a little different. We were supposed to have a guest on tonight, and things happened, so we're just going to pivot, and we have some exciting topics to discuss tonight. So, Carlos,
What's up, Tony?
before we get started,
Yes, sir.
you have a big tournament coming up this weekend, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Tell the audience about your tournament.
Yeah, man. We have a tournament this weekend down here in Miami, Overtown, Miami. It's gonna go on Saturday and Sunday. Um, Teams from basically the country coming down and playing in the Pangos All American Tournament. Pangos is like they host this huge camp that they host out on the West Coast. They're doing a tournament down here called the Fantastic 40. So if you guys want to check it out, it's called the Pangos Fantastic 40. All right, the Pangos Fantastic 40 down in Miami.
Awesome. We wish you nothing but success this weekend. Carlos, go down there and kick butt and bring home a trophy, man. Add to your collection of them 1,000 trophies you got in your collection.
Well, a little bit different because it's not really much of a tournament style. It's not a tournament style at all, Tony. It's just showcase style.
Oh,
Wait,
showcase. Oh, okay.
yeah. So basically, you play 4 games and that's it. It's just a
Oh, okay.
showcase game.
Just to get your juices flowing
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah,
And hopefully you have somebody out there to scout you, man. Get your scholarships going.
yeah,
'Cause I do want to attend I want to head up north and attend some Florida State games, man, and watch you out there.
yeah. Hopefully, but because of this whole NIL transfer portal thingy, being a Division 1 athlete is not that easy.
Don't
The
tell me you entering the transfer portal already and you're not even in college yet.
no, no.
Shout out to Carlos, man. He's a busy man, and we are honored to have him on here on the show, co-hosting with me, and this actually is his baby. So shout out to Chief in the chat. Welcome. Just to let everybody know, the links in the chat for call-ins. All you got to do is just click on the link, and we'll bring you on. So we have some exciting topics tonight. So Carlos, go ahead and bring in the topics for our guests. I mean, for our viewers.
All right, first topic we're gonna bring up obviously the hottest thing in sports right now, which is the NBA playoffs. Wow, this is taking over our screen. All right,
Yeah, they're
we
pretty
got
big.
the NBA playoffs. A lot of things has changed since the last episode. Since the last episode, um, OKC they moved on against Memphis. Nuggets Clippers go into a game 7 in Denver. Like what I said Nuggets in 7. This series will go to a game 7. Winner take all. Tomorrow night, 7:30, on TNT. That's what's going to go on there out west. Lakers T Wolves. We'll get into that. But as you guys can see, T Wolves won in 5 games, and they're moving on. Rockets Warriors. This game going to Rockets Warriors.
I
Interesting
believe
series.
game. I believe game
Six.
6 is tonight.
Yes, yes. Game 6 is tonight. The Warriors can close it out, or can the young Rockets force a game 7 to their home in Houston? Cleveland and Miami. We'll talk about that. We were going to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that. Pacers, Bucks, Pacers. They got lucky this time around. No Damian Lillard. They got out. Bucks. They were just playing with no fight, and the Pacers. They play as a team, and they moved on. They'll take on the number 1 Cavs for game 1, and then Knicks, Pistons. The most intense series of this playoff. The Knicks. They win it, close game 6 in Detroit. They move on. They knock off the Pistons. And then Celtics Magic. Celtics handled business in the
Don't be making Bruce happy.
match. No, but it's true though. It's true. Celtics.
All right, and what other topics that we're going to bring to our guests tonight?
Oh yeah, we're basically gonna talk about Tony's favorite team, the Lakers, and my Miami Heat. Like I feel like those topics have to be talked about. You know, the Lakers early exit, first round exit. The Miami Heat. Um, a lot of changes needs to be made for the Miami Heat in the offseason. So Tony, if you want to first talk about your Lakers, first round exit.
You guys, pardon my apologies. Young show, young co-host. We're also going to talk about. This is Carlos is going to lead this one. We're also going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh
I know a
yes,
lot of sports shows don't talk about them, but we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs and how our local Florida Florida Panthers are doing. They're on to the second round to
yes they
take on the
are.
to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep.
We also gonna have a short topic here. We're gonna talk about the college GMs that's going on right now, and Carlos wants to talk about Shador and Quinn and about how they can earn money, how they could earn more money well, money in college over their NFL rookie contracts.
Oh yeah.
So let's get into we're going we're going to start the show off talking about the NHL playoffs. So go ahead and get us started because we have some exciting matchups here already in the second round.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like NHL. This topic needs to be brought up more. I feel like the NHL right now they're going up. Viewership wise. They're doing things better. Like I remember First Take on ESPN, they did a segment NHL versus NBA, and they talked about how the NHL, is on the rise, and then the NBA kind of like a little bit on a downfall because in the regular season, the NBA, the stars, they don't really play. They talk about like load management and all that, but in NHL, it's a more serious game. The stars are out there on every regular season game, and they're out there competing, and they're not just going through the motions. Like in basketball, you can go through the motions, but if you do that in hockey, you will get hurt. Basically, you will get hurt in hockey. And playoff hockey, telling you, man, is different from playoff basketball. Definitely,
It
especially
is.
them Canadians. Canadians, they take it like serious. Like they take it very, very serious. Okay, so let's start with the West here. Winnipeg. So basically, Winnipeg, they are the President's Trophy winner. So that means that they are the number one overall seed. They scored the most overall points throughout the whole regular season, and they were crowned basically the President's Trophy winner. The Panthers were also crowned President's Trophy winner back in 2021. They won the first round, but then got swept in the second round. And if you're a true NHL fan, you know the curse of the President's Trophy winner. So basically, the curse is if you're a President's Trophy winner, you basically don't win the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
Yes, so it's a bit of a curse. And Winnipeg, they kind of have the curse. Can they break that curse this year? Let's see as they take on the Red Hot Blues, the most hottest team going into this playoff. I believe won like what 14 in a row going into this.
oh,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard over at TNT when Chuck was doing his predictions. Yeah,
yeah.
yes,
Yes,
that's
yeah,
basically.
Chief. Yeah, Chief. I'm learning too. My Carlos keeps me on point with all this. Shout out to Chief. He said he learning about.
Oh no, yeah. So out in the West, so that's Jets Blues. Jets, they're up 3-2. Game six, I believe, is tonight. I believe Jets and Blues. Game six is coming up down the line. Oh wait, May 2nd. So that's tonight. So they play tonight
Play tonight. Yeah.
on TNT. Game six. Can the Jets close it out? Stars, Avalanche, two solid teams in hockey. Pretty similar talents. Um, game seven. Going to a game seven. Going to a game seven. On prime time on Saturday night, 8 p.m. live on ABC,
But
live from Dallas. Yes.
Carlos, let our audience know about also this curse.
What
Um,
happened?
with NBA and hockey. If
Yeah.
yours, if you're, if if your NHL team gets eliminated in the first round, normally the NBA team does too. So
Oh.
to keep Carlos's pick alive, he's gonna be rooting for the Avalanche to pull this out. So his Nuggets, so not his Nuggets, so the Nuggets can pull it out. Because as
Oh, I
you can
get it.
see, the LA Kings got knocked out in the first round,
Oh yeah.
4 games to 2, and then look what happened to my Lakers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, what about the Minnesota Wild though? Minnesota, the T Wolves, they moved
See,
on.
sometimes there's an exception to the rule
Okay.
because um Timberwolves and Lakers were battling each other, so they both couldn't eliminate each other.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I get it.
But another exception was the Panthers and the Heat. They don't. I think it's more towards teams that share the stadium because the
Okay.
Panthers and the Heat do not share their stadium. Panthers play down here in Sunrise, Florida, down
Yeah.
here by the mall, and of course the Heat is down in South Beach.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so like back in the day, the Panthers and the Heat actually shared an arena. Like back then, it was called the Miami Arena down in Miami. The Panthers and the Heat actually shared an arena. Actually, like when the Panthers were, growing as a franchise. Then, like in 2000 and I believe 3, they moved to Sunrise, and that's where they've been ever since.
wow, they've been there for a minute,
Oh yeah.
22 years,
Yep.
and that is and it doesn't look like a pro arena from the outside.
Yeah.
But once you go in that baby, woo, that arena is huge.
Oh yeah. Definitely. The
Real quick, have you been to a Panthers game, Carlos?
No, but the closest thing I've been to it was I was at a watch party for the Stanley Cup Final, Game 6, last year, Panthers versus the Oilers. A very crucial Game 6. This was when the Panthers were in the middle of like their downfall. By the way, guys, if you guys did not watch last year's Stanley Cup final, so the Panthers, they basically went up 3-0 in the series, 3-0, right? You would think the Panthers would sweep, go on the road to Edmonton, win the Stanley Cup, and just sweep them. But no, that didn't happen. Edmonton, they blew out the Panthers in game 4.
Hmm.
Returned back home to Florida, game 5. Oh, Panthers might win it. They're in front of their home crowd. This is amazing. Um, Franchise first Stanley Cup final. Going to win in front of their fans. Nope. Their star player came out and played very well. Forced the game 6. Then ultimately in game 6, again, basically like it was basically like game 4 all over again. Oilers blew out the Panthers. Crucial game 7. Crucial game 7. A lot of history was on the line because the Panthers, they were about to do one of the biggest downfalls in sports history. You know, you go up 3-0,
Yeah.
you basically should close them out like in a sweep. But no, this game 7 was very crucial in history because first of all for the Oilers, like bigger than the Oilers, like the last time Canada won a Stanley Cup final, Tony,
Yeah.
was I believe back in 1994 with
Jeez.
Montreal.
Jeez Louise. I was in ninth grade.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been a while since Canada won a Stanley Cup final, and as you,
So
yep,
I was gonna say so for the Panthers who they're rooting for out here because some very diehard Panther fans. They want that trend to continue.
yes, definitely, yes, definitely, and I feel like the Panthers, this franchise, the Panthers, the Florida Panthers, they've been going through up downs, up downs, up downs. Like when the Panthers were at their lowest, they were talking about relocating the team, Tony. Relocating.
Oh
The Panthers, Florida Panthers, like
well,
leaving Florida.
well we win. Well, Floridians are happy that they didn't.
Oh yeah, because at the time the Panthers like they had low attendance, not a lot of people there. The Panthers were average, and the NHL just saw it as like, oh, like South Florida doesn't care about hockey. Like why should we bring hockey to South Florida in the first place? So they were thinking of relocating, but Panthers they went up, and obviously in Game 7, 2-1 Panthers they beat the Oilers and won their first ever Stanley Cup final.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So and since we're still on the West Coast, before we move over to the East, we have one bracket that hasn't filled out yet. So give us your predictions on who do you think will make it to the second round out of the four teams that are remaining in the first round.
All right, Jets, Blues. Blues they've been performing really well, but I think Winnipeg gets it. I think Winnipeg will win tonight, game 6. They move on. Stars and Avalanche, it's in Dallas. Um But the Avalanche, they do have this guy named Nathan McKinnon. He's a pretty well-known hockey player. He's the star for Colorado, and I feel like he will perform on Saturday night. The Avalanche goes on the road to Dallas and picks up the upset win. So it will be Winnipeg against Colorado for the second
Ooh,
round.
all right. So let's move on to the East. I
Oh
know
yeah,
we've already talked about the Maple Leafs and Panthers. So there's one series left to discuss.
yeah. Capitals, Canadians, Montreal against Washington. Washington, I don't know if you guys know this, but it went over ESPN when this happened. Alex Ovechkin, he
Yeah.
broke the all-time goal scoring record. It's basically like breaking the all-time scoring record with LeBron, but it's like the NHL. So basically, what Ovechkin did was what LeBron did in basketball.
Right. And that record by the great Wayne Gretzky
Gretzky,
was
yep,
there for what, close to 20 years? Not as
forever.
long as Kareem's was, because
Yeah.
Kareem's was over 40 years.
Oh yeah.
But his record, his goal record was over 20 years. And Ovechkin, shout out to Ovechkin, you know,
Yep.
first ballot Hall of Famer,
Oh yeah.
went ahead and eclipsed that this season. Now we need that. We need to get our soundtracks together. I gotta hit up my brother Travell. We gotta get them soundtracks.
Oh yeah,
And we got
definitely.
and we gotta liven up this show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, when this podcast goes up, we obviously got to update our things, obviously.
Yeah, as we grow, we will.
Yeah.
And all it takes is you guys. If you love our podcast, is donating to the podcast. You know, um, soon as we grow, we'll get members only, and then we'll also be able to take super chats. But for now, only Cash App, and it's on the screen.
Yes, sir. Okay, here's Sid.
Sid, yeah, you saw it too. He beat me to it.
Gordie Howe to Wayne to Alex.
Yeah. Okay, Chief, you know something about hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Chief.
Yeah. All
So
right, so the Capitals, they're the number 1 overall in the East. They beat the Canadians, Montreal. Montreal, pretty good place to play hockey, definitely. But Capitals, 1 in 5 games. They move on. Ovechkin squad. Hurricanes, Devils, Carolina versus New Jersey. New Jersey comes into this game banged up with injuries. They basically came in banged up. Carolina, they're a really good team in hockey, and ultimately they won in 5 games. They beat the Devils in 5 games. So it will be the Capitals taking on the Hurricanes for the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs.
yeah, you guys check them out. Those hockey games get very intense,
Oh yeah, playoff
and
hockey, playoff
yeah,
hockey.
playoff hockey is a different breed. If y'all like the NFL, you're definitely gonna love playoff hockey.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like if you really want to learn about this hockey stuff, watch Saturday night Stars Avalanche Game 7. Watch it. That game's gonna be energetic. I'm just gonna say that.
To say the least.
Yes.
Now, before we get into the NBA, let's talk. Let's talk college.
Yep.
So, as of today, we have NBA players becoming general managers to colleges, which is basically to assist with the NIL process. So as it grows, we're going to see a lot more of this trend. We know the joke going on is that the economy is so bad that NBA players need to get second jobs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But this is also to help. Before GMs, we had boosters. There were booster clubs in these schools, and the boosters were the ones that funded a lot of the sports programs in these colleges. So now with NIL, they're adding another layer to it with the general managers. Now, it's not going to be the same as a general manager in pro sports. They're not going to be negotiating contracts and things of that nature like on the pro level. However, it will have similarities to um, recruit, will help with recruitment, and to help fund it, of course. Now, the highlight we're going to highlight. Carlos highlighted a few of the GMs that are in there to right now. Of course, the man on the screen, um, Shaquille O'Neal, who ironically is a GM at Sacramento State. with head coach Mike Bibby. Now, if anybody knows basketball,
Mike Bibby.
we know that them two were serious rivals in the early 2000s in the Lakers' first three-peat. So, so for them to be working together shows a lot of maturity on with those two. And just let's let you know that you leave the, you leave that you leave that physicality and all that on the court. Off the court, business is business. You know,
Yeah.
rivalries is rivalries.
Yep.
Um, we also have the one of the biggest announcements was Woj at St. Bonaventure.
Yep.
One that probably flew over under the radar, and Carlos will probably talk more about this because we got Terrence Mann at FSU,
Yep.
and of course, Trey Young at OU at his alma mater.
Oh yeah.
So, which one, which one of these GMs stands out to you, Carlos?
Stands out to me. I think. I think definitely the one with Shaq because because if you look at Sacramento State right now, right? Sacramento State, they're slowly becoming that, trying to be an FBS program. Definitely because they're changing their facilities. You know, they got they got Jaden Rashada, who was a transfer, who basically had NIL issues over at Florida, went to Arizona State, transferred out of Arizona State, went to Georgia, and then from Georgia now he's at Sacramento State. For yeah, and then for basketball for Sacramento State, they also picked up Mikey Williams, who was a standout in high school. Um, Went to UCF, and then from UCF went to Sacramento State. So Sacramento State, they're slowly becoming that, lower Division One, that lower, I guess you can say, FBS program.
Yeah,
They're trying to upgrade their facilities. They're trying to turn themselves into an FBS type program for football. But if you look at the basketball portion, now you get Shaq. He's primarily there because his son, I think, plays for Sacramento State or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah, so that's why he's there. Um, as you know, head coach Mike Bibby used to play for the Sacramento Kings back in the early 2000s, if that's right, the
yeah.
early 2000s for Sacramento.
The early 2000s. He came in, I believe, in '01.
Oh,
Because
one.
yeah, um, because it was Jason Williams in 2000. Um, they got Lakers bounced them in the first round, and then they went and you know upgraded. I ain't gonna say upgraded, but they went and got Mike Bibby.
Yeah, definitely the Sacramento Kings. I think that was the last time they were like relevant, like 2008. Like I
Oh,
remember,
shots
like yeah,
fired,
no, no. To be
shots
honest, like my
fired.
favorite, my favorite team out west for the NBA is the Sacramento Kings because I started becoming a fan of them when De'Aaron Fox was there, Demontis
Hold up, time
Sabonis.
out, time
What?
out,
What?
time out.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What?
I should mute your mic for 30 minutes.
Sacramento.
How you gonna like the Sacramento Kings out west, and you just said out of your mouth they haven't been relevant since the 2000s?
Well, I'm just being honest for our viewers. Like and I'm just telling them.
I apologize, viewers. These youngsters these days, man, they don't know no better.
Yeah, but the Sacramento Kings, they made the playoffs recently, actually. I think when in 2022, I believe the Sacramento Kings when they played the Warriors in the first round,
Yeah, and how did that turn out for them?
they lost in Game 7 at home. They they should have won the series, to be honest with you. They had a pretty good squad, but
Yeah,
they lost to Curry.
they should have won the series,
Yeah.
but but Curry, went on and won that chip that year.
Oh yeah, they beat Boston, right?
Yep.
NBA
Shout out to
Finals.
Bruce. They beat your Celtics.
They beat Boston at Boston in TD Garden.
I'm trolling Bruce because he had a lot. He had a lot to say after the Timberwolves Lakers game.
Oh, really?
I'm waiting. He was talking about he was gonna notify and come on here talk his smack. But he thought I was gonna duck him by canceling the show. No, we waiting. I'm
Yeah,
waiting.
where is he at?
Yeah, where you at, Bruce? We here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so back to Sacramento Kings, but yeah, I feel like now Sacramento Kings they're a bit on a downfall. They let go of De'Aaron Fox, questionable move. To be honest with you, I don't know why they let go of their player that's been there through the thick and thin, like been through the worst of times to the best of times, and I don't know why they let him go. De'Aaron Fox, he was a pretty good player too, so he's now
Sometimes, yeah, Carlos. Sometimes these franchises make moves that they regret for years. They never recover, and some of them never recover from it.
oh yeah, like
So you see how long it took Milwaukee to recover from letting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar go after he won them a championship. It took them years. Um, so
yeah,
hopefully it's not the case with Sacramento. Hopefully they can bounce back.
yeah.
Um, but we'll see.
Yeah, the star there basically is DeMontis Sabonis, and they gotta build around him. Well, they do have DeRozan, DeMar DeRozan. They do have Zach.
DeRozan's out of there.
Yeah,
DeRozan's
well,
gonna be out of there.
Zach Levine,
He's gonna be out of there too.
young star Keegan Murray.
Yeah, he's gonna turn. He's a dog. He's gonna turn into something.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, Keegan Murray, DeMontis Sabonis, but they have some real time work to do over in Sacramento for the Kings. Okay, so back to Sacramento State. Um, Sacramento State slowly becoming that top program up in
yeah,
the high levels of Division One.
yeah, and we and that'll be great for their school. With Shaq there, they're going with Shaq there and Mike Bibby, they should snatch some high recruits, but it takes time.
Yeah,
Um, However, with the big schools like OU with Trey Young there, they already have a leg up on Sacramento State. They're already a Division One school. Um, they have some very good talent there now, but we want, but we'll love to see them grow.
definitely.
So what I'm seeing the trend here is the major schools like the UConns, the Kentuckys, the Dukes. Those are the schools that you would think would hire a general manager, but that's not the case.
So they're basically going old school, basically. And I think
Yeah,
that's primarily because they have the name. They have the name,
yeah,
and obviously they're gonna get those 5 stars, like those 5 stars, those big time transfers,
yeah,
and and h- and how about you throw Florida in there? Florida, they win a
yeah.
national
Florida
championship.
just won the Natty.
Th-
Um,
th-
so
yeah, yeah, they did bring in somebody from Princeton who was like the top point guard in the transfer portal. They brought him in, and Florida, I feel like they can really pick up some guys in the transfer portal.
yeah, um, we haven't seen no one go back to back in men's basketball in a long time. So let's see if they can do it. With this transfer portal, it's a different breed nowadays.
Yep.
So you never knew. And
Yeah,
again, also for the new viewers, anytime you want to call in, our show is different. You click that link and you come on and you can give me and Carlos and the viewers your side of the topics. Just click on that link and you're on the show.
yep.
So you have any more on the GMs?
Yeah, and I feel like there's gonna be, it basically spread to college football too. Like if you're looking college football, Andrew Luck is now the
Oh yeah,
GM over at Stanford. Um, Another player that we forgot to mention, Steph Curry. He's the assistant GM over at Davidson, his
that's true. Yeah,
alum school.
his alum school,
Yeah,
and he's trying to, he's going to try to revive that school. You know, he put him on the map when he was there.
oh yeah,
Like nobody knew who Davidson was until Steph, but everybody knew Steph Curry,
yeah,
and that tournament run that he had which was out of this world. You know, it had me rooting for him to win it all. So yeah, he's the reason why everybody knows who Davidson is to this day.
definitely.
So shout out to Davidson. I believe they retired his jersey there too.
I believe so. Yeah,
And shout out to Davidson. Hope big things go come up for them. And shout out to Steph Curry for being loyal to Davidson, who's the only school that saw something in him and gave him that full scholarship. And he stuck with it.
yeah.
So shout out shout out to Davidson. And real quick, shout out to Chief with the $5 cash app, donating
Hey,
to the show. Chief is the first one to donate to the show, so we got to get something for you. We're gonna get some T-shirts out, Chief. So I'm gonna get your information, so we can send you a T-shirt.
definitely an
We're growing, but we want to do big things for our viewers, the ones that's helping the show grow, you know, our loyal viewers.
yeah,
We want to we want to do big things. We want to do nice things for you for supporting us and supporting Carlos here. So, and so we're gonna start with t-shirts, who knows? And I grow to something else.
yeah.
So shout out to Chief. Thank you for the donation.
Oh yeah, definitely something historic here at the Be Ready Sports Podcast. First donation.
First donation by Chief.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, another name I want to bring up, Max Crosby. Max Crosby, who plays for the Raiders. He's the
Oh, the
assistant GM
kicker.
over.
No, not the kicker.
Not
Not the
the.
kicker. The linebacker. I keep getting them two mixed up because
No,
their names are so similar.
yeah,
Yeah, like I think it's Matt Crosby or something like that. I keep getting their names mixed up.
yeah. I think Matt Crosby. Yeah.
Yeah, the
He,
kicker.
he's assistant GM over at Eastern Michigan.
And also I want to give a shout out to Wilma Armin, who just subscribed to our channel.
Oh, let's
Um,
go.
Thank you for the subscription. We hope you continue to tune in every week, and we keep you entertained and you know knowledgeable. Because this young man right here, you're gonna see him on ESPN one day. He has a lot of knowledge. Is not a lot of knowledge, and I want you to sign your $100 million contract, Carlos.
Hopefully soon down the
Oh
line.
no, we're gonna talk. Be Ready Sports Podcast. Everybody in the chat, we gonna speak that into existence. This man
Definitely.
right here is gonna be the highest paid broadcaster on television. I'm claiming it for you right now, Carlos.
Thank you, Tony.
Claiming
Definitely.
it.
Definitely down the line. That's definitely one of my goals. Definitely down the line. Um, but gotta keep growing. Gotta keep growing from here. And
Yeah,
definitely starting a podcast definitely is that first step.
in that first step.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to start talking about the one that's gonna get everybody all hyped up in this on this show in this chat? You ready?
Yeah. Yeah. About what?
You ready? You ready, Carlos?
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Sid. Shout out to Sid. You have to believe it to achieve it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's real talk. That's real talk, man.
Definitely.
That's real talk, man. These viewers, man, they support our viewers. Support you, man. They've supported you since the first show, man. They've been giving you nothing but love, and encouragement, man. So
Definitely.
keep striving for greatness, Carlos.
For sure.
And should we make the announcement now since we're on the show? I know you want to tell me about what's going on next Friday.
Oh, next Friday.
Yeah, should we tell them? Should we tell them?
Yeah, might as well. We're here in the podcast, and I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
let
I'm.
you. I'm gonna let you do the honors, Carlos, because this is a big thing for you. So I'm gonna let you do the honors, and you cannot miss next Friday's show because it's gonna be highly entertaining.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next Friday. Okay, so as you guys know, I believe this Sunday we're interviewing an EYBL player, right, Tony?
This
EYBL.
Sun, yeah. Um, um, I should
Caden
know.
Primus.
Caden Premise. Don't kill me, Caden. Yeah. This Sunday.
Yeah, so that should be a really exciting one because he plays on the EYBL circuit.
hmm
He's different.
Nice kid, man. The kid's got game. Y'all going to. He's gonna be on y'all radar.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be on y'all radar, and y'all gonna follow. Y'all gonna follow this kid for his journey. He's only a freshman, and he's looking like a senior already. 6'1", got size for a guard. He's only growing. Man, y'all gonna. But that's Sunday, Carlos.
Yeah, that's Sunday. But now, next Friday, we'll be interviewing a 3SSB player. He currently plays for a 3SSB team. He's currently in Austin, Texas. Well, Bryan, Texas, for session one of the 3SSB um, circuit. He's actually playing right now as we're speaking, Tony.
Oh
He's
yeah.
actually. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, he's 6:40 his time. That was actually the game time.
Oh yeah.
6:40.
So it actually was tip off just right now.
Yeah, yeah. So he plays on the 3SSB circuit. He's grown ever since he was a little kid. Tony coached this kid basically when he was little to now here, growing him to a 3SSB player. So, without further ado, the guest that we have next Friday is
Drum roll. We're doing a drum roll if y'all can't hear it.
my brother, Christian Rios. He is going to be on the podcast next Friday, and that's going to be a really, really exciting one next week, starting off on Friday.
Yeah, and we have some very interesting stories to tell. We're not going to embarrass him,
Oh, yeah,
but
definitely.
yeah, he came. He that's that's Carlos's little brother. Well, not little no more, but that's Carlos's brother. Is I wanted him to do the announcement because this is going to be a special episode for him because y'all don't understand. It is hard to get them to on camera.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to get them to boost their channel and go live. Carlos will tell you since they were little. I was like, that's going to boost your brand. Do lives. Talk to your audience. Could not do it. Now, it's going to be historic to see both of them on camera at the same time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Little Big Brother, like off ATL.
Yeah,
Chief.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, Chief, uh, Chief know what it is. Chief know what it is. But yeah, he's going to be going into his junior year. Um, this is his first circuit. He's out there killing it. He's growing like a weed. I think he's close to 6 feet tall, over 6 feet already. Um, this is when he's gonna. This year is when he's gonna get his campus visits, and it's gonna be a busy. It's gonna be a busy year for him. So
Definitely. Yeah,
he's
so a
he's
little
yeah he's doing his thing, and you guys will learn all about it
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I hope we can get talk to talk to Yuli tomorrow. Get his peanut head butt on here.
Wait, who?
Um, Coach Yuli.
Hmm.
You're going to see him to this weekend. Get
I
his
am.
get his peanut head tail on here. Um, he's been coaching the Rios brothers since the beast mode days when they were little.
Yeah, definitely.
So um,
Tony, and I think you just gave me an idea what we can do next Friday. I think you definitely gave me an idea.
we'll talk about it off the show.
Oh yeah.
We'll
Okay.
talk about. All right, sorry guys, we got that's what happens when you go live. We get a little sidetrack.
Yeah.
But now let's get into the meat and potatoes. So
Oh yeah.
before we go, we give our rants, which is going to be some highly entertaining rants on how we feel about our teams,
Yes.
because we both pissed off right about now.
Yeah.
Let's give them an update. Well, you gave them a quick update on the NBA playoffs where we stand right now. Um, so just to give an update of what we said last week, we both picked the Thunder to beat the Grizzlies. I think they already moved on.
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah, from our last episode, yeah, they already moved on.
they already moved on. Um, Nuggets and Clippers. I picked the Clippers to in 7. Carlos picks the Nuggets in 7. So we're gonna see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna talk about this one in a minute. Um, everybody in America picked the Lakers to beat the T Wolves, except for the T Wolves fans. So that's the biggest upset in the first round, if you want to call it an upset. The T Wolves over the Lakers. Um, we already got the Rockets Warriors going on now.
Yep.
Um, me and Carlos already picked the Warriors. Sorry, Jace.
Oh yeah, Jace.
I know you're a Rockets fan, but sorry, the Warriors gonna pull that off.
Yeah, the Rockets. Yeah, the Rockets too young right now. I feel like the Rockets they need that growing pain by losing the first round.
Yeah, it's gonna be growing pains. They're gonna bounce back though. They're gonna be a problem.
Yep.
They're gonna be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Cavaliers, Heat. Carlos is gonna give his rant on that. Um, Cavaliers also looking like one of the most complete team in the playoffs so far.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it was not one game in that series was competitive. Sorry, Carlos.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, but I'm predicting the 4 game sweep of the Pacers.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm predicting because the Pacers have no business being in the second round.
Really?
Um, yeah, no, they were not better than the Bucks. Come on now, Carlos. We know they were
But
not
the
better than they were not better than we know they were not better than Milwaukee.
well,
Let's keep it a buck, Carlos. Let's keep it a buck.
that is true. Pacers
No,
did get
not pun. No pun intended.
well, the Pacers did get lucky this year. They did get lucky with Dame and Giannis not playing hard. They got lucky this year. The same thing happened last year where they played Milwaukee, and I think Giannis was banged up, right? I feel like Giannis was banged up or something like that.
Yeah, he was banged up last year when they lost. But
Yeah,
don't you think the Bucks cursed themselves by trading away Chris Middleton? Because I think they would have if they had Chris Middleton. I think the series would have went the other way around.
probably because I think Chris Middleton, he's definitely better than Kyle Kuzma.
Man, Kyle Kuzma sold this series.
Yeah.
His stock went down.
Oh yeah.
So this would have been a good thing for him to bet on himself. And there's certain players when they get in situations like this, you play for your next contract.
Yeah.
You know, you got traded. I mean, the worst team in the NBA didn't
Yeah,
want you anymore,
get traded from purgatory.
and you had a chance to up your stock like Dennis Schroeder did in the playoffs. Still think he was crazy for turning down that 80 million. But Dennis Ro- Dennis Schroeder upped his stock in the playoffs. Same
Yeah.
thing with D'Angelo Russell. When not Lakers D'Angelo Russell. I'm talking about New Jersey Nets D'Angelo
Hmm.
Russell. He
All
upped
right.
his stock. So this would have been a killer opportunity for him, and he we went so far from comparing him to Jason Tatum to what we see now. The biggest disappointment ever.
Definitely.
And I was wrong. I picked the Pistons over the Knicks. Knicks told me to sit my old tail down somewhere because you don't know what you're talking about. Um, Knicks handled their business. Moved on to the second round, but still a lot of respect for the Motor City. The, very young team, just like Houston, very
Yeah.
young team. They came out of nowhere. Last year I think they had the worst record in the NBA.
Yeah, like the worst, like the longest losing streak in NBA history, like one of the longest.
Yeah, and they bounced back, became the sixth seed. You know,
Oh yeah,
skipped the play in, and they're going to be a problem going forward too.
definitely.
And then last but not least, these ugly Lucky Charm Celtics,
Lucky Charms.
um, made it as advertised to the Met in the second round.
Yeah, the Orlando Magic. They're kind of a young team too. The Magic. Well, they do have KCP, but I feel like KCP didn't really show himself in this playoff with Orlando. Like I feel like,
No, they were busy trying to out physical the Celtics instead of playing, which I think that was their downfall. But I also feel like they exposed a little bit of them too. They proved that you can get in their heads. Now, if they play it, just imagine if Ant Man was on the Knicks,
hmm,
and Ant Man is notorious for getting in your head. So if 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 they let if they can't get that under control and keep letting their opponents get in the head, they're gonna get caught.
yeah.
They're gonna get caught.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ant-Man in New York. And I wonder how those Knicks fans like and those Knicks fans they always take this playoff over the top. Like all they want is a series. That's all they want.
Yeah,
Literally.
and the Knicks Celtics rivalry um, turns another page. These teams go at each other. I don't. I feel it's going to be more. It's going to be competitive, but I think the Lucky Charms still have the better bench,
Yeah,
and the Lucky Charms is going to get lucky again. And I think they get past the Knicks in six. I give the Knicks two.
in 6. All right.
Yeah, and I hope I'm jinxing the Celtics because I don't want them. I don't want them to win for obvious reasons.
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
So, are you ready to you ready to talk about our squads
Oh yeah, definitely.
before Carlos gets started, or do you want to get started and talk about the playoffs before we show the clips?
Like talk about the second round?
No, the Heat, man, your Heat.
Oh, the Heat.
Oh,
Okay.
you. Oh, yeah, I talked about the second round. If you want to, yeah, give your picks on the second. Sorry, guys, brand new show.
It's all right.
We're gonna build our chemistry.
Yeah,
We're gonna build our chemistry. We're not on Transformer and Bruce's level yet, but we
not
gonna
yet.
get there. We gonna get to a point where we know what the other person's gonna say before they say it. We gonna get there. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't. Yeah, I don't want to I don't want to hijack. Your points or whatever what you got about the NBA playoffs. But yeah, give your points about the second round.
Second round, Cavaliers,
My man,
Pacers. Please jinx the Celtics.
my man, Chief.
Please jinx the Celtics.
Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah. All right, the Cavaliers. I don't know if you saw that Miami series. I'm gonna get into that in the next segment. The Cavaliers, they look like a complete team. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland was not playing in that game four. We'll talk about that on the next segment. Jared Allen, they look pretty good in Cleveland. They look really good in Cleveland. The Pacers, um, Tyrese Halliburton, um, they play like a team, but the Cavaliers, they're just something different. I think there's something different. So,
Yeah.
out of the top of my head, out of the top of my head, I'm gonna say Cavaliers in 5.
Oh, you're being generous. You're giving the Pacers a game.
Yes.
Let me ask you this:
Yes.
besides Tyrese Halliburton,
Yes.
who is going to show up in that Pacers series to give them a chance against the Cavs? Because they are complete from top to bottom.
Wait, who, the Cavs?
The Cavs are complete from top to bottom.
Definitely.
Who is going to step up for for the Pacers besides Tyrese Halliburton? Because they're going to key on him.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you do have guys like Pascal Siakam, who is a champion, play for Toronto. He is a champion.
Hmm.
You do have the center, Miles Turner. Um, you also have the role guys like TJ McConnell, Andrew Nemhart, and guys like that. Neesmith. Those are pretty much the role players, but I feel like Cleveland's role players are better than Indiana's role players.
And
So,
don't and let's not forget about them getting DeAndre Hunter at the trade deadline. Added another long athletic defender.
oh yeah,
So they are deep. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat in a 7 game series.
oh yeah,
They're going to be very tough.
yeah. Them and the Celtics. I think that's gonna be my prediction in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
Eh,
it's going to be a given. It's going to be the Celtics and Cavs,
Oh yeah, definitely. Out
and
in the
then
East.
we're going to see. Then we're going to see if that duo can overcome a complete squad.
Where, over in Boston, a duo?
Yeah, that
Oh
duo.
yeah.
If they can overcome a complete squad.
Yeah, I feel like Boston's kryptonite right now is Cleveland. That's why I feel like Cleveland is Boston's biggest threat. Cleveland has home court advantage in this series against Boston.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's going to work to their advantage. Definitely Cleveland playing at home, having that home court advantage to start off the playoff, to start off the series. That'll definitely help them in the long run.
Right. But what's going to be the most exciting series in that second round?
What is?
Warriors Timberwolves.
Hmm.
Jimmy Butler against Anthony Edwards. Two big trash talkers. And then you got to throw Draymond Green with his trash talk out there.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
definitely.
the WWE choke out that he did on Rudy Gobert.
Oh yeah.
Man, yeah, it's a lot of history between those two teams. It's a story behind it. Um, and you know how Curry does when he goes against rivals.
Oh yeah, he goes off.
He's like Popeye. He eats his spinach and just shoot threes from the parking lot.
Oh yeah,
Like
and then
it's
that basically started a whole trend with young kids shooting long three pointers.
yeah, you see him in AAU every day.
Yep.
Well, that's gonna be a discussion in July. We're gonna do a show on AAU.
Yes.
Um, but the difference maker in that series is gonna be, in my opinion, Jimmy Butler and Julius Randle.
Mm.
Which one is going to step up and take over this series to help to help Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards?
Hmm.
Which one is going to have the bigger series?
I've got I've got playoff Jimmy. I got Jimmy Butler
And
because
and chat, no, we're not overlooking the Rockets. They can still have a chance to, but I just don't think they're going to win three straight.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
I
yeah.
mean, the Warriors played like no disrespect to the Rockets and Jace. No, I'm not. I'm not clowning your squad. Don't be trying to come for me. Don't be trying to come for me. Even though he's still celebrating that win over you.
Oh
He's still
yeah.
he's still celebrating that win over you on the episode too.
He definitely asked his dad for for the answers, but yeah, and I feel like
Oh, we're not gonna go there. We have no proof.
oh no no
We have no proof.
no.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna say he was cheating.
No, I felt like I gave him like really hard
Yeah, you gave him the
questions.
same questions I gave you,
what
which was crazy.
what I should have asked him, like name NBA champions from 2010 to 2024. That's what I should have asked
That would have been better than asking him who the Big Dipper was.
him. Definitely. Yeah.
But Jace, yeah, you even got a shout out on the Format Podcast too. So we're
Quick
not
take here.
we're not going to we're not dismissing your Rockets. We know what time it is though.
They need that growing pain. They just need that growing pain. Like OKC had that growing pain. They were the number one seed. They lost to Luca and the Mavs. Like they needed that. I feel like Houston is due for that, and that's what's gonna happen with the Warriors, with the Rockets.
And shout out to Chief. He makes a valid point. He says Jaden McDaniels and Nas Reed. They're going to have to be factors
Yeah,
if they against the Warriors if they're going to get by them and get to the Western Conference Finals. They're going to have to be big. They cannot rely on Anthony on Atman to They can't rely 100% on Atman. I mean, he gonna get busy. Don't get me wrong,
oh
but
yeah,
they can't rely on Atman.
yeah they can
So, like I said, that's going to be the series of the second round. Um,
definitely.
but I don't think it's going to go seven. I think it's going to go six.
All right,
But Carlos, you're going to be surprised of on my pick though.
okay,
You're going to be surprised on my pick though. You ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
I think the Timberwolves will take them.
All right. So
Yeah, I think they showed in the Lakers series that they are ready for a deep playoff run. They not playing around this year. They learned, they were one series away.
yeah,
They were one series away.
yeah,
They were one series away last year. I think, like you said, growing pains. They learn from that, and I think they more prepared this year. It's gonna be hard because standing in their way is gonna be those boys in OKC unless they get upset.
hmm,
Um, so we gonna see. I those old legs in Golden State. I don't know if they can keep. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna keep up.
all right,
I don't think they're gonna keep up. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna. I think early in the series, I think is gonna blitz them. Um.
all right.
Uh. And they're gonna have to beat them with that man going off.
Mm.
They're gonna have to win the game with Ant Man going off.
And
They're gonna have
that,
to they're gonna have to win the game with Ant Man and one of his you know one of his role players going off.
yeah, and Anthony Edwards going off in the playoff, that is scary. That is scary, definitely. Anthony Edwards rewriting that script. He prevented a Lakers versus Warriors, LeBron versus Curry. He just basically rewrote the script.
The script.
What happened?
Well, according to the script,
Hmm.
the Nuggets supposed to win it all this year, according to the script. If you wanna talk about that, but
From who?
we're not. You know you know the social the conspiracy theorists and all that always got something to say. Because they saw NBA Finals basketballs in Denver.
Oh.
I mean, they got to put them somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, they obviously got to put him somewhere.
But I'm not trying to hijack it, Carlos. But you have one more. You give your points on the West.
Yes.
For the second round.
Yeah. So, OKC will take on the winner of that Nuggets Clippers series. I think that's going to be a handful for OKC. OKC, they're basically in the same spot that they were in last year with Dallas. They lost to Dallas, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. So and they basically lost in that second round, and they needed that. They're back in the same position, but they're going to take on a pretty similar team, the Nuggets or the Clippers,
Yeah,
depending who wins on Saturday night. But OKC's gonna have a handful in that second round. So the West, the Wild Wild West.
it's always been the Wild Wild West.
I'm gonna bring
Uh,
up this point here by Chief here. There, Jace might be onto something. The Rockets target Steph, Thumb, and Jimmy a little banged up, and Draymond has been inconsistent.
man, Jason's getting a lot of shout outs in this.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez Louise. Is he? Shout out to Jace, man.
Yeah,
But hey, if the Rockets could pull that out, hey,
that-
that's gonna more power to them.
yeah.
More power to them.
Oh
But go
yeah.
ahead, Carlos.
All right, so that was OKC and Nuggets Clippers. T Wolves Warriors. That's gonna be most likely. I'm saying most likely because you never know for an upset with the Rockets. Um, that series is gonna be really interesting. You have Curry. You do have Jimmy, who is banged up. Who was banged up. But if you guys saw in that 2022 finals run, the Heat were an 8 seed. They knocked off Milwaukee, moved on to the second round, took on, I believe, was the Knicks. They took on the Knicks. Jimmy was banged up in that Knicks
Mhm.
series. He was banged up, but he got past that series. Took on Boston, beat them in a game 7. Went to the finals, and ultimately they lost in 5 to the Nuggets. And some people felt like Jimmy's health played a role, that Jimmy was not playoff Jimmy, that he wasn't playoff Jimmy because of what happened in the Knicks series. So Jimmy Butler is pretty much in a similar role here, but he
Yeah,
does have help this time. He does have help this time in Steph Curry and Draymond. But if the Warriors are going to be a championship team, they need playoff Jimmy.
he better show up.
Yeah,
He better show up and show out tonight.
yeah,
He better show up and show out.
yeah.
Now, are you ready?
Yeah, the main event. Says it on our title.
Um, are you ready? So, are you ready?
Yeah,
Let's let's get it. Now, we're gonna play a clip here. Is we broke it it's broken off in two segments. So we're gonna play part one first, and then we're gonna give our takes on part one, and then we're gonna play part two. Part one is about 30 seconds long. It's not gonna take that long.
yeah.
Uh, Let me take that off the screen. Let's get it.
Where do Riley and the Heat go from here?
The change has to start with Pat Riley. It's time. It's time. You have never heard anyone say that about the great Pat Riley, who I revere. Know this man, I got a lot of love for this man. I appreciate what he has done for the game of basketball. I don't have any doubt that he knows what he's doing when it comes to basketball in terms of what the team needs.
That was part one. So, according to what I heard,
Yeah,
it's sounding like Stephen A is saying it's time for Pat Riley to take a move to the side. Now he's out of touch with the
yeah,
current NBA. It's kind of sound like what he's trying to say here.
yeah.
Do you agree with Stephen A on this one, or do you disagree?
Um, I unfortunately gonna have to say I agree,
You
and here's
agree with you agree with Stephen A.
and here's why. Because he's gonna say in the next clip. He's gonna say in the next clip. I'm basically giving a little spoiler here. Pat Riley's a champion. He's won multiple championships. He was a part of the Lakers organization, the Knicks, and then ultimately took over the Miami Heat. Then ultimately took over the Miami Heat. Coached that 2006 team with Antoine Walker, Alonzo Mourning, D Wade, Shaq to win the finals against a really good Dallas team and Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, and that great squad in Dallas. But ultimately, the Heat won. They won that series, and Pat Riley won a championship out of it. And I feel like ever since then, he's been a champion. You know, was able to make the moves behind the scenes to bring LeBron to Miami. Obviously, that 4-year run of NBA Finals appearances and won 2 out of the 4. And I think Pat Riley, he has the resume. There's no more for him to show. I feel like he already has done it. He's already has done it. So I feel like it's time.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
So y'all think the old dog needs to step away?
Yep.
Think the old dog needs to step away?
Pat Riley has
Um,
9 titles as player, coach, GM. Yeah. 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 Basically, like he has the resume. He has the resume. He's a champion. He knows how to win. But I feel like today's a different era. It's not like the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s. Like it's different now. And yeah, I feel like it's different. And Pat Riley has a resume, and I think it's time for him to go. But in this next segment, in this next part, Stephen A is going to talk about like what should the Heat do if Pat Riley does decide to retire. So, do you want me to play the clip, Tony?
not yet, not yet, not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
Um, this is very interesting.
that's right. I got
This,
to give your
this,
take.
this is very, 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 very interesting. Because, well, not personal reasons. Putting personal reasons aside, because Pat Riley, Showtime Lakers.
Yeah,
You know, I stand with Pat Riley. You know, isn't he's standing on this like, come on, we got to stop catering to these crybaby NBA players when they don't get their way and they throw temper tantrums, and then you want to punish the guy that's standing on business.
yeah,
Like, come on now.
Hmm.
Pat Riley should walk away from the game when Pat Riley's ready.
All right.
You know, he should step away from the game. That's because Jimmy Butler wants to cry, have a fit because he didn't get his way.
Yeah.
We all know Pat Riley's smart with the money. He don't pay you when you want it. He
Yeah.
pays it out when it's needed. You
Yeah.
know, he's trying to build championships. He's not trying to make one star happy. So he's had success. He's shown success doing it. Pat doing it Pat's way. So I n- no. We don't know what was told between closed doors, but Jimmy Butler made it public
Yeah.
by the way he was acting.
Yeah.
The way he was acting like a spoiled child.
Yeah.
He wasn't acting professional, and he gets rewarded for that
Yeah.
by him going to the Warriors and have a chance, to compete for a championship. I haven't told Carlos this. I haven't told the audience. Me on what I would have done. I'm like, look, you don't want to get together. Fine, fine. You want to make you want to make videos online and everything. Fine. You got two options. You can sit on the end of the bench, or you can sit your tail at home, but you're not getting paid because you're gonna be indefinitely suspended.
Hmm.
So, what's more important to you, your pockets, or being with your pockets and being with the team, or making a clown of yourself and getting on social media? That's how I would have handled it.
Yeah. And I think that's probably what the old school Pat Riley would have done.
That's
The
what he
old
should
fashioned.
have. That's what he should have done. But somebody got into his ear and told him that the best in that situation would be just get him out of here about the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I don't like the move. You send him to a playoff team. He could have sent him to a team that wasn't going anywhere. But that's just my opinion.
That's true.
But
But in return, we did bring in Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and we brought in Davion Mitchell through that trade. But out of those three, you don't really get a superstar out of it. So I feel like Jimmy Butler won in that trade. But a little quick take here from Chief here. I think Pat should bend a little bit. He should have LeBron them cookies.
that's a totally different topic, Chief. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would have been happy if you would let him eat them cookie because he probably pause. Damn, that sounded way, way, way wrong. That's a double pause right there.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't have had him in LA. He would have still been over there with your Heat, ruining your franchise.
Just something small as that. Just something small as that.
But let's go ahead and play part two.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and play part two, then we'll give our thoughts.
The coach it has, etc. The reason I'm bringing up that there has to be a change in Miami is because you have to get people to want to come to Miami. And he's not that guy anymore. Not that guy. He knows what he's doing. He's not gone. But he can't get the right people to Miami. I think what I'm trying to say is that Eric Spoelstra needs to be the president of basketball operations for the Miami Heat. Udonis Haslam needs to be upstairs in the front office of the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, 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 interesting,
Yeah.
interesting take. So So I do agree that if Pat does decide to give in to peer pressure and step aside, I don't think he should. But if he decides to step aside, keep it in house.
Yeah.
Keep it in house. Bring an alumni in that the players can relate to.
Yeah.
Um, I Spoelstra is due for promotion. I mean, he's done a heck of a job as a coach,
Oh yeah.
and a lot of it, him still being there, I believe. This is another reason why the reason why I say Pat should walk out on his own. A lot of reason why Spoelstra is still the coach of the Heat. A lot of it has to do with Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Um, because you're seeing how coaches are treated in the NBA. Pat Riley stays loyal to his guys. He's
Yep.
shown that. But if he does, yes, keep it in house. Give Spoelstra that. Give Spoelstra a promotion, rightfully earned. I don't think whoever comes in can replace what he's done for that franchise. I mean, he's grown from that franchise. He was the he was what was his title before he became coach? He was like their not IT, but
Like
their
like
the videographer.
yeah, something like that. Like their
Yeah, he
film
was like
guy.
their film guy. He was like their film guy. Then he ended up becoming the head. Then he was promoted to the on the coach staff. Did a phenomenal job. Yes, Miami's been had some rough seasons, but they've always performed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So uh, hold on. Where do you think? Jace is like, where are they talking about me at? I just told you it was on the show. So yeah, Spo Spo went from being their video guy to the coach, and then it won't be fitting the next the next job, the next promotion to get is the president of basketball operations.
Definitely.
And I don't think they should. You know, Pat has done a lot for that franchise. I wouldn't, even if he decides to step down, I wouldn't just tell unless he specifically announces his retirement from the league.
Yeah.
They should find something for him to do.
Yeah.
So being afraid that players won't, that's South Beach. That's Miami.
Yeah.
Who in the heck won't want to go to one of the warmest tourist attractions in the United States with no state tax? Come on now,
Yeah, I know. Like it's like an attractable place to be.
come on now.
Yeah.
But that was how I've. What is your was your stance on that second part?
I feel like yeah, if Pat Riley does step down as the president of operations with the Heat, um yeah, and I feel like Spo definitely needs to be that president of operations. Like for example, um breaking news today with Greg Popovich stepped down as the head coach and will now be a team president. Will now be the team president of the Spurs. And I feel like the Spurs and the Heat, I feel like they're two similar franchises. They're both first class, both have history. Like they're both similar franchises. Like, and I feel like the Heat are going to do the same if Pat Riley does step down. I feel like Spo is going to go up there. And what Stephen A brought up a really good point with Udonis Haslam. Udonis Haslam, in the early 2000s, carried that Heat culture. I feel like he needs to stay there and explain to these young cats like Heat culture, like what Jimmy Butler said, like when he during his whole saga, was that Heat culture is like overused, like they use it like too much. Like it's okay to mention it, but they overuse it. That's what he says. But like, but but bring it back to
Real
My
quick,
yeah.
hold it down for just a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
No, keep going.
I'll keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, um, Miami is like one of the most attractable places in the United States. You have the warm weather, no income tax. You know, the Miami Heat could have brought in some stars. Like they should have brought in Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard literally said publicly, he said publicly that he wanted to go to Miami. He wanted to go to Miami. That was his place. Because in Miami he does have Bam Adebayo, who was his Olympic teammate, and I feel like Damian Lillard, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. Imagine that big three in Miami right now. That would have been really good. But also they could have brought in Kevin Durant. They probably could have got Kevin Durant, but that fell through. So Pat Riley not getting the stars, not getting today's stars, that's a little bit questionable for me, especially the resume of Pat Riley. But it's mostly Pat Riley's fault because if Pat Riley wasn't there and probably a guy like Spo, who is a young guy, brings that young energy, like what if Spo was that president of operations at the time when Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant wanted to go to Miami? Like what if, Tony? Like what if? Like do you think Damian Lillard and Kevin Durant would have been down here in Miami?
I mean, I think the best thing for the Miami Heat was Damian Lillard not coming there.
Wow.
Um, he would have took a lot of the ball out of the hands of Tyler Hero. He would have taken a lot of Tyler Hero's shots, and he doesn't play defense. So you would have had the same situation that my Lakers are having right now with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. You would have had Tyler Hero's not known as a on-ball defender, and we know Dame is, and Dame is very injured prone. He
Yes.
would have he would have been a liability on Miami, and Miami is when they made their deep playoff runs because they were sound defensively 1 through 5, and they
Yep.
were able to overcome Tyler Hero not being an elite defender. But if you have two guys out there that can't defend and they're in your back court, there's no way you can overcome that even with a rim protector like Bam Adebayo. So that's the best. Pat, I believe, like I said, you got to understand that man's mind.
Yeah.
Um, um, Dame not going there, it was the best thing for your franchise. Two, um, Kevin Durant fans will not like what I'm going to say, but lately, Kevin Durant has been a franchise killer himself.
Hmm.
Um, he has not proven that he can take a team. He's a hooper. He can hoop all day long, and he even said, "I'm a hooper," and I think that's all he is. And well, that's all he will ever be is just be known as a hooper.
Yeah.
He is not a franchise leader. He is not going to lead the squad and take them to a next level. He's going to go out there and play basketball. There's nothing wrong with that, but his status, people, you're getting paid franchise player salaries, and you got to be a franchise player. They're not paying you 35, 40 million to be just to be a hooper. And he said I'm just a hooper. He wouldn't have came out there and he would have, he would have got some great numbers and all that down in Miami, but you would have had to gut your squad to get him there. It would not have been worth it. So the only way you gut that roster is if you get a guy like Giannis down there, with Bam Adebayo. It's the
Hmm.
only way you gut that roster. You because I think Giannis will fit into the Heat culture. He's rough, he's tough, he's respectful at the same time. He's polite while he's whooping your tail on that basketball court.
Yeah.
The fans in Miami will embrace him
Oh
Just
yeah.
like they have embraced LeBron when he came out there. Man, Giannis jerseys would sell out before he even signs the contract.
Oh yeah.
Like they would love him in South Beach, and they wouldn't care who they got rid of to get him. But if
Yeah.
you put, but Kevin Durant, they won't, man. They're not going to say that. Heat fans are not going to say the same. If you gut their future and gut their core to get KD, they will not say that the same.
Hmm.
But they will not care who you got rid of to get Giannis down there. And
Def.
season
Yeah.
tickets would have been sold out. Like you'd have been signs around there talking about, yeah, we back, baby.
Hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
and so, yeah, piggybacking off the Bucks, the Giannis thing. I think that's going to be one. If he does leave Milwaukee, that'll be his number. In my opinion, should be his number one destination is to come to Miami, pair him up with pair him up with Bam Adebayo. That's going to be a scary front court. I don't care what anybody says, and it doesn't matter who you put 3, 4 at the 1, 2, and 3. As long as they can keep Tyler Hero there.
Definitely. I think Tyler Hero's on the come up. He was an all-star this year. He was an all-star, and I think he's just on the come up. He's just on the come up. But who would the Heat give away for Giannis?
That's the biggest question because the biggest asset they have is Tyler Hero,
Yeah.
and that's who everybody's going to want. And
Yeah.
they have draft capital.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of draft capital. So it's going to for that trade to work, it's going to have to be a 3 or 4 team trade.
Yeah.
So Miami can get multiple pieces in return with Giannis, but that will help. He's one of the few players that will help turn the corner.
Definitely.
And Chief, I'll let you read it. I'll let you address what Chief said because this is going back on what I said about KD.
This makes me rethink Steph's importance when Golden State won back to back as Kevin Durant as the Finals MVP.
So I think he's talking about like how I said about KD. Um, I think he's referring to like Steph being that franchise guy.
Yeah.
That's
Then.
his.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, Chief can come on the show and tell me that I'm wrong. I need to shut up.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I know you got a big tournament, so I don't. I don't keep you here all night. We're not going to have a 3 hour show tonight.
Yeah. Nah.
Um, let's get back to. Oh, he said exactly right. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess great minds think alike.
Yeah.
So let's talk. So I know you had some more things to say about your Heat because I know I
Yes.
got a lot to say about my Lakers losing in the first round.
Yes.
So I should take myself out the frame and let you give everybody. So you give the whole everybody your undivided attention. But tell them how you feel, man. Talk that talk, Carlos. Tell them how you feel about the Heat, man. Tell them how you feel.
Well, my feelings definitely has extinguished a little bit ever since the loss, but that loss against Cleveland in Game 4 was embarrassing, straight up embarrassing. A Pat Riley franchise just lost by 55 points against Cleveland, who did not have Darius Garland play in that game. That is just upsetting to me. I think that's just upsetting. That was a complete embarrassment to the Miami Heat franchise, to Heat culture. That was just straight up embarrassing. I know Cleveland was the better team, but the Miami Heat's known to fighting. Like they're known to fight. Like if you're gonna lose, at least lose by like under 20. Like at least put up a fight. Put up a fight in a closeout game at home in front of your fans, in front of the White Hot Heat. That's basically our slogan. Like during the playoff. The white hot heat, that's been a thing since 2006 when we made that finals run. So yeah, so like give the white hot heat fans something to get excited about. You know what I mean? Like losing by 55, that was truly embarrassing. No matter what squad you have, I don't care. I don't care. You got to fight till the end. You got to fight till the end, especially a team like Cleveland, who's the better team. But you've got to fight if you're Miami, definitely. And there will be a lot of changes in the offseason. Definitely. Um, there's going to be a lot of changes. A lot of changes. What Bam addressed during his postseason conference, his postseason interview. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of changes down in South Beach. I think the Heat, they need a star. They need a star. We've been saying this since last season. Like we need a star. Like I can't even name one star in Miami right now. The closest we have is Bam and Tyler Hero. But we need a superstar. We need a superstar down in South Beach. It's long overdue. And I think if we have a superstar and we have Tyler Hero and Bam, watch out for the Miami Heat. That's all I gotta say about my Miami Heat. But yeah, things are going to change in this offseason.
Mm, good valid points right there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of reminds me of Lakers when our final games at the Great Western Forum,
Mm,
before when we were going to relocate to the Staples Center,
Staples Center.
and we were in a playoff race at the end of that season in '99, and I think we got embarrassed. Um, I know it was a shortened season, but I believe we got embarrassed in '99 by the San Antonio Spurs,
Hmm.
and it was like we weren't playing with any any pride or any passion, and they were bashing the forum, talking smack about it, like we can't wait to get out of here. The place is old, and this with the history of that arena, like kind of didn't sit right with the fans. And I think that situation there is kind of like how the Heat fans feel right now watching that, because it was a sold out crowd for games 3 and 4, and especially game 4, and they got went out there, and that was just, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
You don't get beat, you don't get beat like that at home.
Yeah.
But your team wasn't the only one that went home on their home court.
Oh, I know.
Jeez. Now, how long we got on this show, Carlos? What's my
How
time
long?
limit? Yeah, what you got to give me a time limit, because I will rant all night. I know you got a tournament this weekend. What's my time limit?
If you have a lot to say, then 10 minutes.
Oh, it's gonna be longer than 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll give you till 9 o'clock. So it's 8:45 right now.
You're giving me
It's
15. He's giving me 15 minutes, Chief, to rant about our Lakers, and you know we need more than 50. Man, there's a lot to unpack. Listen, I can care less about LeBron fans' feelings here. I'm not putting the stock in a 40-year-old. I'm sorry. I'm not
Mm,
putting the stock in a 40-year-old. You can't. You can't put your franchise on the back of a 40-year-old and expect success. They're on their way out. I don't care how great his records were. I don't care how fantastic it is to you guys to witness. We in Lakerland only care about winning. We don't care about all that. You take all that to somebody somewhere else. You want a stat pad and this boost, you take that garbage somewhere else. You go to Sacramento and do that. They'll worship you there. Go back home to Cleveland. They might accept you back, but there's no way you're gonna go back because they don't want you, because they don't need you. We true diehard Laker fans are sick, and we've been dealing with this crap for the last 7 years. We sick of it. Retire. I wish I could have played. I wish I had a clip here from Rob Parker.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to patch it in here because I didn't have time to trim it down to smaller bits like you
Yeah.
did on the video
Yeah.
before I could do it. Um, but Rob Parker said it best. It was like it's time. It's time to take Old Yeller behind the yard. And I'm not saying put him down, but just let him go. Like go off in the sunset. You're a billionaire. Your kid's in the league. Your kid behind him looks like he's gonna follow. Why you gotta be on? Why you gotta be playing? While both your boys on there? That's freaking selfish. You're not helping the Laker franchise. You're not helping the Lakers win. You're taking all you taking is money in a roster spot that's deserving of somebody else. And you LeBron fans, I can like I say, I don't give a rat's you know what about your feelings, how you feel about him, how you want to praise him. None of that crap. Laker fans only care about putting banners in the stands, and we're not going to do it with this 40-year-old circus shot sideshow that we're seeing every damn game. We're sick and tired of seeing it. We're sick and tired of see it. We don't want to see it no more. You need to just you're the anti Pat Rally. We need you to go. Miami is not even with all that crap with Jimmy Butler. Miami was not pensioning for Pat Riley to step down. We want you to go.
Hmm.
You got this one championship that nobody in the league respect. Man, get the hell up out of here. Poor AD body broke down carrying you for 6 years. He finally get to his squad and he couldn't even play because his body was like enough. They carried you for 6 years. Let you get your stats. Let you get your records, which is all you care for, man. Step aside. And I'm not even and Luca, if you don't bring your fat ass back next year in shape, you thought you don't want to get on Laker fans' bad side. That town, you heard what happened. What they I don't approve of it, but you saw what they did to Russell Westbrook.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't have a chin like Russ. You don't have a chin like Russ. You ain't gonna be able to handle the backlash that LA fans is gonna throw at you
Hmm.
if you don't if you bet don't come in this off season ready to rock and roll, get in shape, um, ready to ball, nigga, you gonna get booed out of the Staples Center, and they gonna talk shit to you when you come down that tunnel. And like Chief said, Russ is from LA. That nigga was born and raised and grew up there. Nigga went to Taft High School in South Central. Went to UCLA and they ran him out of town. What do you think they're gonna do to you? You a foreigner. No disrespect. Man, you if your ass out here getting cooked by Dante DiVincenzo, you can't guard nobody. And then you got this podcaster up here playing coach. Let Rudy go. Shout out to Rudy Gobert, man. I ain't mad at you, man. Eat. You know what I'm saying? Take
Yeah.
advantage of your mismatches. I am not mad, but your dumb ass gonna sit Jackson Hayes down for the whole game. Who does that? Who sits the only center that you have on the roster down for the whole game? Small ball never worked in the NBA. Ask Steve Nash.
Hmm.
Ask Steve Nash. Then went up against San Antonio. Ask Steve Nash what happened when they tried to play small ball against the Twin Towers. Well, no, it wasn't the Twin. David Robinson was gone by then. But they had the Thiago Splitter and all them other 7 footers. When they put those two 7 footers out there, y'all couldn't handle that. So, and you tried to, and you thought you was gonna bring small ball back, and man, and you let Rudy Gobert on a closeout game on your home floor look like Will Chamberlain. I think he had what, 9 offensive rebounds.
I
That
think.
was nine
Yeah.
offensive rebounds. That's 9 more possessions. And then he had 15 or 16 defensive rebounds, which was 16 more possessions going his team's way. So that's JJ. that- That's 25 possessions that you lost, and you have no rim protection. Like you knew this before you knew this before you went in there, and you were favorites. I'm not giving them a pass. No, JJ, you don't get a pass, bro. Ain't no rookie coach this, rookie coach, man, screw that. Spo did way better than you with less in his rookie year. Shout out to Cass, who's our guest tomorrow. Shout out to Big Cass. Y'all gonna know this young man a whole lot tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow 6:30. This is a soccer phenom that we're gonna feature on this show. Man, I'm happy to see you come in and listen to my rant. I hope I don't scare you off with my rant,
Keep
but
it.
shout out to Cass. Y'all love Jace. Y'all gonna really love Cass.
All right, keep on cooking.
So it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that if the team that you're going against has size advantage. This is not AAU. This is not a league with clumsy bigs that can't run, that can't shoot, that all they can do is rebound. These are the best athletes in the world. These are the best athletes in the world. And how as much as hate that Rudy Gobert gets, he's still an elite center. He's still a defensive wrecking defensive force back there. He's somebody. He ain't a nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so good. Like I said, happy for him that he showed out for his squad. He did what he was supposed to do. You know, send these punk sideshow freaks home. You know what I'm saying? And y'all worry about your off season and what y'all gonna do to fix it. Ant Man had and on top of it, Ant Man had the worst playoff performance of his damn career. You didn't even get beat by the best player on their squad. You got beat by Rudy Gobert. Let that sink in. You got eliminated by Rudy Gobert. Let that sink in. I want to hear shit from no LeBron fan. You got beat by Rudy Gobert. Let that sink in. Rudy Gobert cooked your whole front line. The same man that y'all clown talking about, he can't guard ice, melting ice. That he can't guard a parked car. That he's a defensive player of the year fraud. He cooked your 40-year-old LeBron, your star, along with Luca. Cooked them all. So let that sink in. This is embarrassing, and we Laker fans are sick of this, of watching this crap. Yeah, I said it. He needs to retire. He needs to get his ass on out of here. I'll take Bronny over him right now because Bronny at least got a future. This fool ain't got no future. Sit your butt down somewhere. And Luca, you better come next year in shape because if not, LA. This is not Dallas, bro. We didn't draft you. Them Laker fans will run you out of the Staples Center. They'll run you out of town. There's nowhere you can go. There's nowhere you can go where you won't feel the city's wrath if you don't come back next year in shape. Now you got away with that in Dallas because they loved you. LA, we don't give a damn. We'll get another Luca. That's where the stars go. LA's different, bro. They don't love you like Dallas did, bro. You better come back in. Hey, you better come back in shape next year, or they gonna run your ass out of. They gonna run your ass out of town. I'm telling you, LA is not that place. That's the mess around and find out city. Ask Dwight Howard. That's why he left. He couldn't handle it. We losing. He laughing and giggling on the sideline. Yeah, LA let his ass have it. And what did he do? Take his tail somewhere else. It wasn't Kobe that ran him out of town. It was the Laker fans that ran his ass out of town. We losing, about to get eliminated, and he over here on the bench laughing and giggling like yo King LeBron James. LA ain't having that. Ran his butt out of town. So Luca, you better bring your tail in shape. And Austin Reeves, you got the big game James Worthy comparing you to Pistol Pete. Boy, you look like a water gun in this playoffs. Pistol Pete turning over in his grave. Like you compared this bum to me? You think Pistol Pete would have disappeared in the playoffs? You think Pistol Pete would have lost 4-1
Nope.
to them?
Nope.
Man, you better get it out, Austin. You better get it together. They'll ship you out. You think Rob Palinka would ship you out too? Rob don't give a. You think Rob ain't playing? Rob is not. Rob is not playing, dude. Like we had enough of this sideshow. We've had enough. We've had enough. We had 7 years of this crap. Like the late great Owen Hart said, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And then every time we get eliminated, you get this. This
Perfect
is
time.
what we see every time you get eliminated. I'll give him that this one might be legitimate because he did Dante did fall into his knee, but every time you get eliminated, we get pictures of this. I didn't want to download all of them because I didn't want to show I could have showed the one in the cast when you saying that your elbow was the reason why you lost because your elbow, you know, and all that other crap. Like, but this is pathetic, and I'm sick of it. And I tried to get behind, get behind this guy because he's wearing purple and gold. But I can't. Like this is pathetic. This is pathetic. You're never gonna. I don't care what none of y'all say. You're never gonna be up there with the Magics and the Kobe's. Hell, even Shaq. At least Shaq brought us three. Luca, you not Shaq either. You can't show up out of shape and think you're just gonna dominate. You're getting older. You're not you're not quick as it is. You're slow. Those little hazy moves and those that's only gonna work for so long, boy. You need to get in the gym. I won't be surprised if Carlos work harder than you. Like you're not in Europe anymore, man. You stop smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, and get your tail in the gym and get in shape. Work on your grain, man. Work on your craft. You're a professional. You're in LA. But I'm warning you, Luca. I'm warning you. Show up next year out of shape like you did in Dallas and see what's gonna happen to you. I don't give a damn what you saying in there, Bruce.
Tony, we good?
We got a phone lines is open. We can hear your opinions. You can hear your opinions. I stand on what I said. I'm not blaming Braun for the loss. I'm blaming everybody. You know, everybody. There's no way in hell you get eliminated by Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And if you didn't stand up and if you don't feel this way and you wear a Laker uniform, time to get your ass up out of here. They could
It's the
fire JJ tonight. I don't care. Chief was good.
What's going on?
sub chief.
Oh,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got a we got double trouble. And if you come on this show acting retarded, we're not on the format podcast. You come on here acting retarded, boy. You gon' get it.
Oh, man.
Bruce was good, man.
Gross.
My fellas, what's going on,
What's going
gentlemen?
on, man?
What's going on?
Hey, I know you that. I know you and Nico the two happiest men in America right now.
Man, I just want to say, man, and then I'll get off your program.
Nah, you
You've
stay
been
your
on
tail
my
right.
show.
Stay your
You've
tail.
been on my show in the chat. You have called in. You have co-hosted with me. This is the best material I have ever heard you put forth. Go ahead and cook, young man. Cook. You Gordon Ramsay out here tonight.
Yo, yo,
You just like it because you agree with everything I said.
Oh, 1000%, brother.
and on top of that, he's a Celtic lover, and
Yeah.
he's basking in our misery like a nation.
Well,
It don't get better than this.
he missed the segment earlier when we was talking about the Celtics.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gonna have to go back and watch what I said
Hmm.
about your luck gonna run out with them Akron
Against the
boys.
Knicks?
And no, against Cleveland.
Oh,
Nah, ain't gonna happen, Captain.
You
Mm-mm.
think so? You think so?
Nah.
You boy, please. You think
Okay.
you think you don't even have Tatum as your franchise player, and you think they're gonna carry
I
him?
didn't say that.
They
I
gonna
didn't
carry
say
he's
that.
like
you.
a
You
superstar.
actually think they're gonna carry him past them horses in Cleveland? They got
Look, man.
they got 5 and 6 guys they gonna throw at both of your stars, and they're
First
gonna
of
hold
all,
it
I'm gonna
down.
just say this: the Celtics know and understand about focus and winning championships. They have the most of any team, and so they understand what it
For now,
takes, and they understand that we are focused on
once we
what's in front of us, and that's the New York Knicks. Once we dispatch of them, Celtics in 5, then we can concentrate on
hey
Cleveland.
hey don't say that don't jinx them.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
jinx them. Don't
Okay,
don't
okay,
don't do it, Shannon Sharp. Now
okay, okay.
don't do it, Shannon Sharp. But
uh,
yeah, well, we did pick them to get past the Knicks, but I don't have them. No disrespect to them. Shout out to
mhm,
Larry
mhm.
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Whenever we get members material, I got to do a. I'm gonna do a spotlight on Larry Bird. That's the only Celtic I respect. That's the only Celtic I respect because
I'm gonna leave that alone, but that's okay.
Larry deserves all the respect that he get, man. He what he
Uh-huh.
did for this game and that Lakers rivalry, man. He kept
Yes.
us. He's the reason
Yes.
why I hate the Celtics to this day because of Larry.
Hey,
Larry, man, I hate the Celtics so bad, man. I used to get sick to my stomach just watching them in them ugly ass uniforms back in the day.
I
hey,
don't know why you mad. Magic had a
Look,
leg up on him. I don't know why
you
you
used to
mad. He
see
beat us
you
two
used
out
to
of
see
three
Kevin
times in the
McHale's
finals.
jersey be all way over here and shit. And I'm like,
Coach T,
just
Larry
but
did have a lot of help. He did have, to
He
me,
did. He did.
the one of the greatest power forwards ever, Kevin McHale. And you talked
That's
about
correct.
that boy had a plethora of post moves. I hated him too. I hated him equally. He got those post moves. He could shoot
Yeah.
outside,
yeah.
long
Yeah.
arms. He could defend.
Mhm.
He had help.
He did.
But we ain't talking about the Celtics right now. We talking about my Lakers right now.
That's right. That's right.
I don't. The only thing I've said on your show, the only way the Lakers win a championship again is if they trade Anthony Davis and LeBron James. They both got to leave.
Mm.
I wish I couldn't find the footage because dang on well I was gonna play it when Stephen A said in 2020 that this was LeBron's last championship.
Mm.
I can't find the footage nowhere.
Wow.
I asked
Um,
AI,
cl-
I asked Google, I asked Bing, I asked I asked Siri, I
Siri.
asked Alexa. Nobody could find this
Alexa.
footage. It's like it's
Clutch,
done.
Clutch Sports had his call from the internet.
It's like it is gone.
Yeah.
I was gonna play that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I would have played Rob Parker too. Rob Parker cooked. Rob Parker cooked the only way Rob Parker can. And that
Yeah.
idiot that they had on there, you know who I'm talking about, on it that came
Kelvin
on his
Washington.
radio show, making excuses for Braun
Hmm.
like they always do. Man, 40 is 40. You can't. You're a 40-year-old should not be your cornerstone. That should be your third option at best.
But I say this though, Tony. What I'm more mad about is the defensive effort. If LeBron James, me and Bruce talked about this on the show. He trying to get blocks. He trying to strip. He's
Yeah.
trying to. If those
Yeah.
other guys that are younger do not take suit and follow that, and he don't take a shot, I'm kind of going off on everybody else. And it started at the top, and I'm going with JJ.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
off on the whole squad. I can't. Only person I don't blame is Jackson Hayes. There's nothing you can do sitting on the bench.
Nah, Laker Nation, I gotta admit, man, I'm no LeBron fan or anything, but and me and Chief did talk about this. I
If
was
you
impressed
if
with the
you
defensive effort
if
LeBron
you
put forth. I can't lie.
if you get on here defending LeBron James, I'm gonna remove you from
No,
from the platform.
No, that's the only thing I'm gonna say. I try to be objective, and I will say he gave everything he had on defense. I can't lie about that. He did. He tried hard.
that in Minnesota, and I thought we were gonna win. When we lost that one, I was like, oh damn, it's over. Oh man, I was like, I just couldn't. And then when he didn't play Jackson Hayes, I knew it was over.
Mm.
I
I'm
knew it.
not gonna. Yeah, we already got a. You have no front line as it is.
Thank
What
you.
do you? Who gonna go in there and do something? Maxi Kleber?
Man,
Man,
y'all better leave the next Pat Riley alone.
Pat Riley.
what, we was talking about Pat Riley earlier.
Oh yeah, we were.
Mhm.
So ask Bruce his opinion on that, Carlos, because I don't have time for him to rewatch the show, which I know he's gonna do.
Of course.
Yeah, you got to boost my algorithm. Our algorithm. You got to watch
I
the
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
show. Remember what you said about Pat Riley when we played the
Yes.
Stephen A. clip? Or
Yes.
should I play it for Bruce?
How you play part one, and then we can talk about it from there.
All right. See, you lucky. You lucky. You my dude. We don't shows don't never go backwards.
Nah, man,
That's
look,
true.
look, we don't need to do that. Y'all can just fill me in real quick. We'll go from there. Nah, keep the show
All right,
rolling, man.
all
Nah,
Yeah,
right.
fellas, appreciate
nah.
y'all.
Carlos said you to show you part one.
No, 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 we're good.
That's what's up.
We can just keep it rolling. We can just keep it rolling.
You,
Yeah, man. So basically, I went on my rant about the Miami Heat. That closeout
Mm,
game, losing not by 10, not by
ooh,
20, not by 30, not even by
yeah.
40, by 55 points. Like,
I couldn't believe that.
I know, like the fans were out of there by halftime. Like the game was
Hmm.
over by like halftime. Like literally. Like
Yes.
it was really upsetting. Definitely a Pat Riley franchise just lost by
Mhm.
55 points.
Right.
And basically like I just said that Pat Riley has to go. Pat Riley has to go. Like he has the resume, he has the
Mm,
championships. Like he's got to step down. Like put Spolstra put Spolstra as president of basketball operations. Yeah, as president of basketball operations. Let Udonis Haslam have a spot in the front office,
okay.
and then bring somebody else as head coach. Like
Okay.
bring new life into the Miami Heat. Definitely. Like I felt and I said this to Tony earlier. Like I felt like if Pat Riley was gone and Eric Spoelstra was president of basketball operations, I feel like we would have had a star right now, like a Damian Lillard or
Mm,
Kevin Durant. Definitely.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my take about the Miami Heat and Pat Riley.
Wow. Okay.
what's your response to that?
The young fella's wise beyond his years because I was just talking to someone else about that earlier today. I can't remember who it was. And I was actually thinking a similar thing because I love Pat Riley's attitude. I love it because I'm definitely an order of things kind of guy, been in the military and all that, and I believe that things go from the top down. However, I think Pat Riley is now disconnected with the fact that today's athlete doesn't respect everything that he's done, and today's young people just aren't going to have it. They don't think the way that we think, and so I think that disconnect. I think Carlos is right. It's keeping the elite players from joining the Miami Heat, and it's going to hold them up. And really, there's no reason for Pat Riley at this point to still be sticking around. He has partial ownership of that team, so he's going to continue to get his money. He doesn't need to hang around as president. So yes, move Eric Spoelstra up, get some new blood on the sideline. I think Carlos is 1,000% right. Great call, young fella.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Mm.
and I'm why I'm pro Pat Riley.
Of course, of course.
You know why? Obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Chief understands where I'm coming from.
Right,
Obvious.
absolutely.
Hmm.
But you know
Yeah.
what I was thinking though, Coach T? I was
Yeah.
really thinking that Pat Riley should have kind of like a position like Jerry West, kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
like a consultant,
Advisor. Yeah.
more or less an advisor. They still be on with the team because,
Hmm.
like you said, he has those what I consider championship core values that
Hmm.
that I think still need to stay, but you have to adjust it with today's players
Yeah.
because old saying, they can't do things the way we did them in our time, so we have to kind of be mindful of that.
Hmm.
Fact. Yeah. That is big facts. But I think, and I also feel like a lot of reasons why um Spo's still there. We don't want to see our armpits or.
My bad, man. My bad. I apologize. I
No,
apologize for that.
I'm just trolling you, Bruce.
Mhm.
Um, one of the reasons why I think Spo's is there is 100% because of Pat Riley. Pat Riley's loyal. He's loyal
Yeah.
to he loyal to the soil.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, um, if anybody should, deserves, promotion is Bo. He done a phenomenal job stepping in as a coach, and JJ need to take notes because he didn't fold as a first year coach. You know, and I think who did he have on that squad in his first year too? Carlos and Bruce.
He didn't have much.
Oh, was this Riley?
Wait, when?
No.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
the cupboard was there.
when in his first year, who was on that? Who was on that squad?
Uh, was that no? That was after Alonso and them. So I'm not sure who was on that roster, but it
Ruben was
wasn't.
on that squad.
The team wasn't terrible, but I don't think they were like loaded or anything.
But did he? But he didn't fold.
No, no.
When they lost, they got beat. We folded. We folded like laundry.
Well, you know.
I know you don't care. You happy.
But
Yes, sir. I will
he
take
cares.
it.
He
But
cares because
I
we're
can't.
miserable. That's why he cares, because we as Lakers fans are miserable and he's enjoying it.
The only reason why I'm not miserable, I'm more pissed off. I know we weren't gonna win the championship this year, but it's
Yeah.
how we went out. Went
Mhm.
out like some. I can't say it because you know kids
I
are
know.
gonna tune in. We're gonna have kid guests
Mhm.
on this show,
Mhm.
and I want to keep it rated PG.
Yes, sir.
That's why I didn't go in as hard as I wanted to. But
Dang. All right.
if this was an adult only show and
Mhm. Yeah.
Carlos wasn't here,
Oh,
you would have heard you would have had this show probably got canceled and we had to go to Patreon. That's how bad that rant was gonna be.
Patreon.
That's
I love
why
it. I love it.
I'm that pissed off on how we lost. You know, let
But
it be known. I'm the most objective Laker fan here. I don't
and I'm
rock.
a LeBron fan, by the way. I am a LeBron fan. But if I'm going,
You're not a Bron fanatic. You're not a Bron sexual.
I'm not a Bron fanatic. I'm a Bron fan.
There's a
However,
difference. You're not young disciple.
Dang. Uh-oh, he calling names out here.
Yeah, he can come on. I've been told that fool to come on this show. I
right,
got
right.
smoke for him.
Nah, but I was mad because if you're going to at least on your legacy from a LeBron fan standpoint, man, you got to throw everything. Like you got to shoot the guns, you got to empty the clip,
Yeah.
and you got to throw the belt like you did in Miami when you played the Spurs that year. You didn't. The sense of urgency wasn't there. So I see why you're so mad, Coach T. It burns you because if this is your last year, you got to go for it.
It starts with the top. Like you paying you. Like I said, I don't defend nobody. I'm just telling the truth, objective. You play a 40-year-old 50 minutes in game 3, and then game 4 you don't play the center on at all. And it's no surprise that you didn't play Jackson Hayes 1 minute, and Gobert has had a career game.
Hey, Gobert played like the Big Dipper, Carlos.
The Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper. That's good.
I wish Transformer was here. You thought, remember how y'all got on my case?
Yeah, yeah.
Except for you, Bruce. You was loving the question because you was a competitor. But remember how everybody got on my case for asking Carlos the Big Dipper question?
Yeah,
And guess what he did to a 10-year-old?
What?
He asked him who was the Big Dipper.
Oh, damn. A 10-year-old, Carlos?
Yeah.
Poor little Jace had to give him a bone. I said,
Oh, man.
it's a guy that scored 100 points. He was like, "Oh, you gave it to me."
God, you can't do Jace like that, man.
Yeah, he did Jace like that, man. I was like, man.
Man, shout out Jace Valdez, by the way, man. That was a great interview, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I told him that he's the most popular one on the podcast right now, and he only been on one episode.
yeah, that was a great interview, man.
You even gave him a shout out on your show.
Yeah, man. Shout out Jace, man.
Yeah, shout out Jace.
But you gonna love you. I know you guys are not big football fans when it comes to soccer. But y'all
FUTBOL. Football.
But I got, man, this kid Cass was in here earlier that said hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll put his comment back on the screen. Like this kid is phenomenal on that football.
Okay.
and he's about
That's what's
Jason's
up.
age. Like I got when we show the clips,
Yeah.
y'all gonna think y'all watching
Pele.
well we go.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, this kid is this kid is amazing,
What's he
and
about 10?
yeah, he's 10, going on 11.
Okay. Yeah, I got a little cousin in England, mad nice in football, little prodigy. Yeah,
Yeah,
super nice.
yeah, y'all gonna love this guy.
That's what's up. I can't wait to
Tune
see
in
it.
tomorrow at 6:30, and Mr. Carlos has a tournament tomorrow, so
Okay.
Yes.
we're gonna have a little special guest host too.
Okay. All right.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta tune in because I'm gonna sit back and let him cook.
That's what's up.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him cook.
Glad you
All right.
He has his own he got his own podcast. He's also he's also a fourth grader, but he got his own podcast that he has
Wow.
on you see it on Tan TV and on Facebook. His key to another level.
Okay.
7:30 Central Time every
Okay.
Thursday night. Man, he do killer interviews.
Hmm.
Like y'all go see.
Okay.
Like we
Looking
gonna
forward to
we gonna show a lot of people. But I promise Carlos it's not gonna be a 3 hour show.
No.
Because
it.
yeah, he got a tournament to go to tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that you came on, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Timing,
man.
Oh.
it's something about timing, man. It was like
I know.
I think
Man,
you
I woke up. I woke up and my boy, he's like, hey, he called me. He said, hey man, I'm gonna send you the link to the fights. I said, all right, cool, we're gonna watch the fights. And I was like, oh damn, let me go check out Lake of Nation real quick, man. Let me check out Be Ready Sports. So I gotta get on that first.
and
Yeah.
you came
Yeah.
on right on time when I was ratting on the link.
He was. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
had just
Oh
started,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. I know you got things to do. You know, check out, enjoy your fights and everything, and tune in tomorrow 6:30.
Will do.
Shout out to Chief, the first donating to the podcast. Real quick before we go out, I do, you know, we got a lot of love for Jace here on this show.
Okay.
Our audience does too. Remember, he's having a fundraiser. I'm going to promote this. I'm going to promote this until July. Until I forgot to upload the. Oh, I can do it now. I got it saved on here. Well, I don't need to, but there's this Cash App. To help Jace get to Vegas. Just Cash App $AGV 8523. To help Jace get to Vegas. They're not going to July, but anything helps.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
And with that note, Carlos,
Yes, sir.
Bruce,
Yes, sir.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
y'all ready for this?
Wait. Before we do that, can I just say one more thing and then we out?
As long as you're not slandering the Lakers, it's all good.
I'm not slandering anybody, guy, bro. I just want to say, Carlos is him. Luca better hit the gym, lose 25 pounds and get slim. T-Wolves in 5.
Oh,
Hey, I let it ride. I let it ride, man.
I like it. I like it.
You show my boy Carlos some love.
Yeah, man, I got to.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I let it ride. And we've spoken into existence, Carlos. Bruce and Chief.
Yes.
Chief was there when I said it.
yeah.
So we're gonna keep it going. Like we
Right.
gonna speak into existence that Carlos is gonna be the highest paid broadcaster on ESPN and in the
Yeah.
world, man.
Let's get it, Carlos.
Bigger than Stephen A. Even bigger than
Let's
Stephen
get
A.
it.
Let's get it.
Man,
Yeah.
I call him, man, that like you said, that man that kid does his homework. Man,
Yes.
he does
And he knows hockey.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
real
he's
right there.
Yeah,
yeah.
you got to watch the hockey. So nobody talks about hockey on these podcasts. You got to
Yeah.
watch.
Okay,
Man, he's
that's what's up.
like you
Yeah.
said. He's him. He's
He's
that
him.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Yep.
no doubt.
Yeah, we learned a lot about hockey. I didn't even know that they what they call the number one seed
The
was
President's Cup
the,
Yeah.
and
the
everything.
President's Cup winner. I didn't even know that.
Right. So
Damn. Okay, I didn't know that either. I know a little bit about hockey. I didn't know that though. That's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, but we gonna count this out. We gonna count this out. This is only episode 3. Tune
All
in
right.
tomorrow. To 6:30 Eastern time. We gonna have Kason on the show tomorrow. We're gonna do an in-depth interview with him. We're gonna talk
All right.
about we gonna talk about how he started. You're gonna fall in love with him. You guys, and I know you guys are gonna grace him because
Definitely.
how much love you showed our first 2 guests on this show, and their last names is kind of similar. We got Mr. Valdez, and now we got Kason. I hope if I butcher it, Kason, please forgive me. Kason Velez.
Velez. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Velez.
yeah.
Velez. This kid's amazing. I did the walkthrough with him. You guys gonna love him.
Looking forward.
Tune in tomorrow, and then tell them about Sunday, Carlos.
Sunday is gonna be a pretty good guess. He's a basketball player. He plays on the EYBL circuit at
Okay.
Nike. So yeah, he's gonna be probably a popular guest. Jaden Primus. He's gonna
Hayden.
be Caden Primus. Sorry, Caden Primus. He plays on the EYBL circuit, and yeah, that should be a really interesting podcast, especially to the basketball players out there.
All right.
Our first high school athlete.
Oh
all
yeah,
right.
And last but not least, remind them about next Friday. You can't miss this show Friday.
next Friday.
Cook, Carlos, cook.
Family Ties. My little brother, he's gonna be on this podcast. He plays on the 3SSB circuit, so we're interviewing a 3 EYBL player on Friday, on Sunday, and then next Friday is gonna be my brother, 3SSB player.
Okay. All right.
Who's actually playing today?
Yo,
What is it in Texas?
yeah, Bryan, Texas.
Okay, I've been down there.
Yeah,
He's actually playing in Texas right now. But y'all know the drill, Bruce.
All right.
You know the drill. You know what's
Yes,
coming,
sir.
G.
Yes, sir.
You know what's coming. Carlos, you ready?
I'm ready.
All
All
right.
right, to be ready.
Hey, that's my
Oh, yeah?
line.
Bro, Tony, bro.
Bro, that's my line, dog. Don't be taking my bro.
Tony,
we already know you the
bro.
legend in the making, but don't take my line, dog. Let me cook.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You supposed to say it and stay ready
Okay, go.
with the guests. Come on now,
Okay,
man.
okay.
Trying to steal my lines. Look at this guy.
Okay.
Now let's try it again
All right.
before copyright infringement.
Copy.
All right. So be ready,
Stay ready.
Stay ready.
Aya.
and we out.
Peace.
It's
All right, y'all.
All right.